Gotcha.
Don't forget to record.
Recording. All right. There we go. Return of the Jedi review. Star Wars Alliance. I don't know what episode number this is, but I will once this is posted. So I'm not going to worry about that. We don't have a lot of news to talk about today either, really.
Been pretty slow in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah. So
other than just controversy after controversy or this or that, or there's been no exciting news, I guess we could put it like that. Nothing to toot our horns about.
Yeah, the only thing really is Kevin Feige has once again confirmed that he has no involvement with Star Wars Disney Plus series. And the original Clone Wars series, Boba Fett holiday special cartoon, Ewok movies, and more legacy Star Wars content is going on Disney Plus. So that's about it. So, you ready to get into it?
Sure.
Do it. And 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of a Star Wars Alliance, your home on the Geek Ultimate Alliance podcast network for any and all things Star Wars. I'm one of your hosts today, Katie Rinchley, and with me, as always, is Nathan. Nathan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Katie. I'm doing good. If we were talking about a little bit off air or before this, not really much going on in the galaxy far, far away at the moment, but we do still have, these wonderful films that are already there, and we're coming to one of my favorites today.
Yes, and then, this is the first time I've watched this film since The Rise of Skywalker came out, so it was interesting to watch, and because everyone's biggest complaint about The Rise of Skywalker is that it follows similar patterns to The Return of the Jedi, so it'd be interesting to kind of see how it goes with this conversation. Okay. So, but first things first, we have to hit the podcast paperwork side of things. So, Nathan, why don't you take it away?
We are members of the Geek Ultimate Alliance, your one-stop shop for everything geek, nerd, whatever you want to call it. There are 9 shows within 7 days a week. We've got World's Finest True Believers, DC Alliance, Marvel Alliance, Slice of Film, Star Wars Alliance, obviously, Ranger Alliance, Superhero Discussions, and Weird Comics Science, DC and Marvel. And there'll be descriptions in the links below, and you can just basically, if you search out that link, they're all right there.
Yep.
And this is also an ad-supported network. We don't get to choose the ads, how many times they played, what volume they play. And we also have a Patreon account, and $1 just is kind of like the tip jar. And then there's a $5 tier that gets you exclusive and ad-free, exclusive episodes and ad-free episodes. And I do believe that's all.
Yep. And if you can't support us on Patreon, another good option is to leave us a review on your favorite podcatcher. It does help put the network into the feeds of other listeners that may not be following us on social media. So it's a great option. You are reviewing the whole network at that point, so just kind of keep that in mind. But we do appreciate it.
Yeah, the thumbs up on the videos and stuff, and just sharing individual episodes with people. It helps. It all helps.
Yep. With that, though, let's go ahead and dive into this. First things first, probably the big topic is we have Legacy Star Wars coming to Disney Plus. So we've got the original Clone Wars show, I think it's the Ewok movies. Is that right?
That was what I thought too, but maybe I'm wrong. I thought they were talking about the movies, but I know there was like a little Ewok cartoon too, so maybe it's all of it. Maybe Ewok Legacy is coming to Disney Plus. But I'm pretty sure it's the movies too.
Yeah, they've got the Boba Fett holiday special cartoon coming. Caravan of Courage, which is, I think, is Star
that's
Wars.
the movie. That's the movie. Okay. Yes, Caravan of Courage is the Ewok movie, and then what's the second Ewok movie? I don't know, but that means the movies. That's what I thought.
Okay, Ewoks: The Battle for
Battle of Endor. That's what it is. Yes.
And then Star Wars Ewoks Season 1, Star Wars Ewoks
so that is the cartoons,
2, and then The Story of the Faithful Wookiee.
Yes, and I would just like to say that there's been a lot of people who like I know that I personally like the animated Clone Wars, the in-canon version, But the Genndy Tartakovsky version, which is the animated version that's coming, there are a lot of people who absolutely loved that. And this is going to be something really good for them because, like, to them, that's their Clone Wars. So this is actually a pretty big get and a pretty good thing for Genndy himself because, you know, Lucas went to him at first trying to do that, and then whenever he wanted to go back and do his own Clone Wars, he was kind of like, we're done with that. So I don't know. This is just, I think this is a good thing because he's famous for like Samurai Jack and a bunch of other stuff around here that people like. So I don't know. It's a big win for that segment of Star Wars fans.
Yeah, and I remember actually watching this one. I didn't watch a whole lot of it, but I did watch some of it to where it was. I remember it was pretty good.
Well, they were only like little 3 to 5 minute episodes or whatever.
Yeah,
but you could find on YouTube somebody spliced both seasons 1 and 2 together and made it like a 2.5 hour cohesive movie. So like you could watch it like that, and I had done it, but it's nice to be able to have it on here and do it. I would imagine it's gonna have be cleaned up a little bit. Not that it was like great, but you know what I mean. It was made at a certain time, so I gotta imagine it'll look a little better. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's what I would imagine.
Yeah.
And then the Ewok movie and stuff, that's just cool because there's a lot of people who because you would see those on TV a lot, and I for whatever reason they escaped me or I didn't remember them, but I got the DVD of these like 5-6 years ago. I watched them for the first time. And like I see like, you know, the problem, but like at the same time, I see why George liked them, you know what I mean? And like why he did them. I see the appeal for the kids and stuff because there's another podcast, you know, that I heard Ezra from Hyperspace Hangout, and he does Bend the Knee podcast. He's pretty known in the Star Wars community, but like he said that he always grew up, like he would see these Ewok movies all the time before he would see the movies. I don't know. So like they hold a special place in some kids' heart. You know what I mean? I see the value in what George was going for. Although older Star Wars fans, they rip it to shreds and stuff. They're not like the greatest movies. I don't mean it like that, but I see what he was going for is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
And I've never seen the Ewok cartoons. I have seen the Boba Fett one, which is actually pretty cool. And like that's where Mando's his rifle comes from. Is from that Boba Fett cartoon. So like so Jon Favreau is a huge fan of like the holiday special and you know all that kind of stuff. And I've got to imagine that eventually that holiday special is coming. You know what I mean? Even though George like went around to conventions and was burning copies of it and stuff, like I've got to imagine that's coming because
it's gotta be.
What is it? The Muppets? Like they've got the Muppets for the first time ever, like the Muppets season 3 when they did the Star Wars crossover. It had Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill. So like that's all. Like all the stuff's coming in, and I would like that holiday special to be on there just so everybody can enjoy in all the terrible goodness. You know what I mean? For people who haven't seen it. Because it's a tradition in my house. I mean, it's not good by any means, but it's like Star Wars. So it's just kind of, you know what I mean? It's nice.
I gotcha. So the next bit of, I say news with air quotes.
Right.
Entertainment Weekly got Kevin Feige in an interview, I think for like the promotion of like the Marvel shows and everything that he's got going on.
Yeah, he's doing the press circuit.
Yeah. And they asked if he was going to be involved with any of the Star Wars TV shows. And he said, no, that's all Kathy Kennedy. I'm involved in as much as I stay up until midnight LA time to watch new episodes of The Mandalorian when they drop. That's about all there is.
He didn't mention anything about the movie that he's supposed to be producing, remember? Because that was the news a while back. And there's a lot of people who thought, because like he's supposed to be producing it, and Taika Waititi be the one that like there's speculation that he's going to produce that one-off, but I haven't heard anything else more about Feige's producing one for quite a while. So I just thought that would have been a time for him to say, oh, but I'm still producing a movie, and that's kind of strange that he didn't, unless he just didn't want to focus on that. Because like I said, he's on the press circuit for Falcon and Winter Soldier. I imagine he wants to stick to the MCU while he's out promoting it.
Yeah. I think that was all that was in the Entertainment Weekly article. I can't find a link to it. I'm reading on Heroic Hollywood, and they didn't link the Entertainment Weekly article. The most recent thing that I could find about the movie was from January 19th, where he said he's not ready to talk about it yet. This is apparently a Screen Rant article or interview, and he said regarding the Star Wars movie and everything. It's all stuff I love, and everything regarding Star Wars is not anywhere near talking about. So it is Marvel, but if I wasn't being paid to do it, I would be thinking about Star Wars here in my basement, just with my toys, and nobody would ever see it. It's what I think about all the time. So, and his movie is supposed to be like brand new characters, brand new planets, and not anything pre-existing. So it happens.
Right.
The last bit of, I guess, news-ish to talk about is the Durge, which was a popular character in Legends, will be making his debut in canon literature in Dr. Aphra.
Okay.
So
that's cute.
The Durge, and I'm reading this off the Wikipedia, Durge was a Jedi male warrior and bounty hunter active in the galaxy for over 2,000 years. Able to survive several near-death situations due to his Jedi heritage and enhanced battle armor, he fought in several wars and collected a multitude of bounties. Over the centuries, Durge acquired a deep distaste for Mandalorians and even killed their leader at one point. That is the legend spiel. He fought in the Brotherhood of Darkness in the Galactic War, and ended up resurfacing following the outbreak of the Yuzon Vong War, where he found that a majority of the galaxy's Mandalorians had perished, feeling he had been cheated out of his revenge. Durge was more than happy to accept the invitation of the Dark Lord Count Dooku in the ranks of the Confederacy of Independent Systems, which was allied with the extragalactic invaders known as the Yuzon Vong. Wait, that's the wrong Dark Lord. Count Dooku was not alive at that point. Very confused. That's the wrong war. That's like the Galactic Civil War, not the Yuzon Vong War, because that's confusing. Anyways.
Anyway.
So I know last time, before we get into the movie, because today's just a short news day. Before we get into
it might even be a short episode. We're just talking about, I mean, you know what I mean, guys. You know, something short and sweet for you.
Short and sweet. Just some Star Wars love right here.
Exactly. Just a little Star Wars in your life.
Yeah. So I've been reading through Legends chronologically. So I finished Into the Jedi Into the Dark, I think is what it is. And then I've gotten started on the Revan book. I'm waiting for you to say something.
And
I was really confused because I never played Knights of the Old Republic. Never played it. So I know that's where Revan and Bastilla Shan get their start, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize this, but then they get married.
Yeah. See, I've never played the games either. All I know is from the book, and there is a little backstory in the book.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't want to really spoil it for you because, like I said, I knew nothing about the character. Just went into the audiobook and ended up falling in love with the character and the book. And it's one of my favorites. So I would just, I mean, you could look stuff easily on Wikipedia, but I would just encourage you to go through it because eventually you get more and more backstory as the book goes on. And like enough pieces to where this book is self-serving. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which is where I'm like, so I'm reading these. This is like my nighttime book. I try and put my phone away by 8:30, and then I just get ready for bed, spend the rest of the night reading. Right. And so, like, I'm going through it slowly, but I'm at chapter 7, which I started it 2 days ago, so I guess that's not very slow.
That's good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and I'm interested about like the Sith that are involved too, because I know like the Sith was originally like a species in Legends where they were like dark red skin and everything, and they were the superior race. Like there's several like humans that are like good as dirt to them and everything. So like it's very weird.
There's a Sith Homeworld.
Yeah, which the Sith Homeworld makes its appearance in the later Legends book, like the very last series. They have like the Sith species in those. So, and Luke's like very shocked about it because he's like, I thought there was only two Sith, and now you're telling me there's a planet full of Sith. What the? So, but yeah, very interesting. And now Bastilla's pregnant, and I'm like, I got the whole backstory with like the Jedi Council, and they're like, oh, you got married. Now we're definitely gonna expel you because now you need to be retrained and everything. And I'm like,
Oh, Revan falls to the dark side at one point before this book. He falls
yes.
to the dark side. And it's only through his connection with her that he's brought back. So
And then the Jedi like
bend the rules
manipulate his
for him.
memories.
It's something like that. They block off cells so that it doesn't you know what I mean? Almost like if you're an X-Men fan, kind of like Xavier does with Jean Grey, because like when she's got some of that real evil dark, like that she can't control as a kid, and it'll tear her up, so they kind of wall it off. It's similar. That was my interpretation, that the Jedi did similar things with him, like it, you know what I mean, to kind of help wall it off. And Bastila is what brought him back from and Malik still stayed. I don't know. It's a whole thing. Like I wish they would make so many more books of Revan, like in that timeline. So like I don't have time to play the old game and stuff, and there's so much story with it. So just give me books of that, and let me get the beats of it like that.
I'm curious. Can you? We're gonna do a YouTube search really fast.
Oh, you can do. There's like little cutscenes and stuff. Yeah, there's little cutscenes and stuff of it. Like I know there's. I don't know. I don't know, but like I said, I love that Legend book.
Republic cutscenes. Oh, cutscenes like, movie.
Even the Bane trilogy kind of like ties into it. Like he references, like Bane finds a holocron from Revan when he was a Sith, and like it's a whole, like, I don't know. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
So IGN has a 23-minute cutscenes of Knights of the Old Republic on its YouTube. So I'm putting that into my currently watching so that I can go back and look at that later.
Okay.
Because I think I need a little more backstory, because I get what they were saying. Like the Jedi, basically Revan wanted to change the way the Jedi was teaching the ways of the Force, and like that they could have emotional attachments because that's what brought him back. And that,
well, I mean, the whole thing is, it's like he's got like, there's a whole, like they're called the Lights or something like that, and it's like Jedi, like he's creating a Jedi army to fight the Mandalorians, and like he goes and takes the helmet of Mandalore, who's like takes their king away, and he hides it on a planet, and then like he finds out about.
So now they're trying. Now they're trying to find it back.
Yeah, and like him and Malik are trying to take the fight to the Sith Lord, and like because they just got overly cocky as Jedi, and then he uses them because they're the two most powerful out of this army. Like, I don't know, it's a whole thing, like, but it's pretty cool. And they get pieces of it in the book.
Gotcha. Okay, so I just need to keep reading. I know.
But. Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm there. They're now looking for the helmet of Mandalore. I forgot that they actually named the leader of Mandalore in Legends.
Like Mandalore the Great, basically.
Because they explore that in Legends when Boba Fett trains Jaina to fight her brother.
Oh, really? Nice. Yeah.
But okay, I guess we'll take an ad break and then dive into the movie, because yes, this is going to be a short episode today. But
it's okay.
All right. Folks, we'll be right back. And 3, 2, 1. And we are back. Thanks for listening, y'all.
Yes.
So today's topic is, of course, the Return of the Jedi.
You know what's funny is like this movie and A New Hope alternate as number 2 for me. And there's even sometimes like I'm feeling like real stuff. Like sometimes like Return will even kind of like creep up there. I'm like, oh, maybe it's like 1B with Empire. You know what I mean? And I really do enjoy it. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, the original trilogy, this is their least favorite, but I really enjoy it. Really enjoy this movie.
Yeah, I forgot how good this one is, because I watched through them all before I saw The Rise of Skywalker. And then like now I'm like looking back at it, I'm like, oh wow, this movie's so good.
like it's just like I don't know. And then there's like the little added thing of like the retcon. It's where the guy that they call it Grandpa in there, it's Captain Rex, and he's helping
Yeah.
out on the Battle of Endor, and like I love that. It's like
Matt
yes.
Matt's going through Clone Wars right now, and I was like, "You want to know something fun?" And
Mm-hmm.
maybe I shouldn't have done this. Y'all tell me, but
Yeah.
I think he's in the middle of season 3 of Clone Wars right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "You want to know something fun?" And I pointed to the guy behind Luke as they were like coming through the forest, and I was like, "That's Captain Rex," and he was
Yeah.
like, "Wait, what?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like,
Mm-hmm.
Where's his costume? Where's his armor?" And I'm like, "We
Just
just gotta
wait.
find
Just
it
wait.
out." So I did reveal that to Matt because I was
Mm.
like,
Yeah. Sometimes you just can't hold back on fun facts. They're fun. They're called fun facts for a reason because they're fun.
yes, exactly. Um, so this so I looked back at my ranked list from when we did the Patreon,
Mm-hmm.
which is on my Letterboxd.
Mm-hmm.
But this is actually my favorite. This is my favorite original trilogy movie when I ranked it
Really?
then. So I didn't
Okay.
forget how good it is. Um,
Okay. Well, go
it
ahead and
had
take
a
us through it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it had a budget of 42.7 million, it looks like.
Which
And the
was
box,
ungodly back then.
yeah, because this came out in 83,
Mhm.
and the box office was 475.1 million.
Which was a smash hit success, rounding, like you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like people were like that's what they expected out of it.
yes. Um, so this says a year after Han Solo's capture, which I thought this was like 2 to 3 years after Empire Strikes Back.
See, I thought I thought it was like roughly the same amount of time in between movies during the original trilogy. I didn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how long it was before they came out. But that kind of does make sense with Luke going back to train. You know what I mean? Like he's coming back strong. I don't know. It kind of makes sense now that you say that, but I always thought it was a little longer myself.
Yeah. Um, because for me, I'm like to find like the Jedi or to find the lightsaber stuff, like, and then to get stronger. Plus, we know there was other stuff that they weren't just tracking down Han at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So even though they wanted to, but anyways,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, like
um,
Luke, Luke went back and trained with Yoda and stuff. Like because he, as you remember at the end of Empire, he got his ass handed to him by Vader. You know what I mean? Like got
well,
his hand cut off, and well, I mean, like
he
he's
doesn't
been
go back till the
training.
movie. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
been
but you know what I
training.
mean. He's been training, like and like yeah, like you're right. He'll go back, but I'm just saying, like he knew he needed time, and he's been training since then and getting used to his new robo hand and all that other
Yeah,
good stuff.
yeah, exactly. Uh, so we start off at Jabba's palace. We
Mhm.
get 3PO and R2 as unknowing. Well, R2 probably knows. Let's be real. R2 knows the plan
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he has the
He
lightsaber.
has the lightsaber. I say R2 always knows the plan.
Yeah. C3PO in his big mouth can never know the plan. It just
Never.
never, ever, ever. And he's just so funny in this film, like with like the Jabba's palace stuff, and then when he's in the forest, it's like, I told you this was a terrible place to come to. Like,
He's always talking smack. Like C3PO never stops talking smack, and I love like he doesn't realize he's doing it. And he's always just so offended and upended about stuff.
yep. And then he wonders why he never gets to know the plan. Um, and then after that, we have, uh, so they get to be their spots in Jabba's palace, and Princess Leia then comes in with
Boosh,
Chewie.
Boss, or Boosh, or whatever.
I think it's Bosch.
Boss, yeah, I was just say coming in as the bounty hunter.
Yep. And that was an interesting disguise to me
Boosh.
because
God, I don't remember.
in the movie itself, Jabba doesn't. I don't think Jabba knows that that's Princess Leia, and he could get a lot of money for her.
Mm. Man, I don't know. He's pretty smart. He's pretty well connected. You know what I mean? I think he
Right. And
knows things.
yeah, and I guess maybe if once she's revealed as not Bosch, Boba Fett is gonna be like, oh, hey, that's Princess Leia. You get a lot of money from him.
Yeah.
So yeah, never mind. He does know.
Because he's got all his bounty hunter, you know what I mean? Like he's got his crew with him, and then plus he makes her a slave. Like I think he knows perfectly well. Like, or okay, wait, it's not slave Leia anymore since Disney owned it. It's Hut Killer Leia in that outfit. Okay, whatever, Disney, whatever.
You know what? I don't really care because I know the opinion of the slave bikini Leia outfit. And for me, I'm like, cool, she kills the Hut in this costume. Like, that's how I get over it.
I get it. I just thought that was funny. But anyway, I think, like I said, he makes her his slave for a reason. Like his new I think he does know, you know what I mean? I think that's look, I made the Princess of Alderaan my slave, and took took Captain Solo, and you know what I mean? Like, I just think it's all about, because he literally hangs Solo on the wall. Look at my new wall, my art decoration. I got Captain Solo, this guy that betrayed, or didn't listen to me or betrayed me, and here he is on display.
Yeah. Well, and I like to think of it like Carrie Fisher put it, because someone criticized them for selling the toys of her in the bikini, and Carrie was just like, well, tell them to look at it this way. When I killed the Hut in that outfit. So that's what Carrie Fisher herself said about it. So I'm like, that's how I choose to look at it.
It doesn't bother anybody during Halloween when they want to dress up like that. You know what I'm saying? Much the ladies want to dress up like that. That's neither here nor there. I just thought it was an interesting little thing, because we all whatever. Moving on.
So then we get, it's a big jump to say we get Luke here now, and Luke is the final piece of the puzzle.
But the way Luke comes into this though, he's coming in force choking the Gamorrean guards. He's going straight up to Jabba. He's not taking any note. You can tell this is a more confident Luke. You know what I mean? You can just tell from the way we left him and how he's kind of an impulsive kid and stuff in Empire. And a year later, being in this movie, where he's like, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to get hot. I'm going. And you can see the confidence level in him. So much. He's obviously been training as he's mastered the Force. And I know there's a deleted scene that never made it into this that shows him making his lightsaber, and at one point it's like Vader or Obi-Wan or somebody says you're a Jedi now, because apparently that was one of George's original ideas, that if once you built your own lightsaber you are a true Jedi. So it was all leading to, he's definitely been training, and you can see with the confidence level that he comes in here. He's taken he'll take on the entire Jabba's palace by himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Vader does say that when Luke gives himself up and looks at his lightsaber and is like,
okay, yeah. I was gonna say, but they took the scene. All right, so yeah. But I love this. I love this confident Luke. I love the way he comes in there with the no nonsense attitude. I really liked the new lightsaber, the green one, because that was a thing. If you remember at the end, it's oh no, what's gonna happen? And he just opens up this new green one, and it's designed more like Obi-Wan's was. I don't know, really.
Yeah. Well, because that's, I guess that's not what he practiced with, but also doesn't he builds it on Tatooine based from components that Obi-Wan kept around?
Yeah, I want to say you're right, and I always defer to you if I have Star Wars questions, so I'm gonna say you're right.
Well, it's because that's at that point, that's really the only place that is going to have lightsaber components. I mean, he could build it from scratch, maybe as
that he would know about. Yeah, you're right. That he would know about is this, Ben Kenobi's hut or wherever he was living. Yeah, you're right. That makes sense. We're gonna go with that. Even if not, we're going with that.
I'm just kidding. So obviously,
Luke in the Rancor pit is I want to get Luke in the Rancor pit. That's hilarious. You know what I mean? I just, it's not hilarious, but as a kid, I was like, whoa. And then he gets down there, and the way he smashes him and crawls out of that hole, so, it comes out of the hole. It's just like Jabba's even oh man, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's cool. I just thought that was cool as a kid, the way they made the monster animate and Luke going in there and using a skull and a bone or whatever. I loved that as a kid. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
And Jabba looks the puppet Jabba looks so cool. We need to say that. They did a great job making him, all the way from when he's got Leia chained up to him to till we get him out to the sail barge, like just the Jabba puppet and all the things it took back then to make it look so good and realistic.
It does.
This little slimy tongue and shit, and like that's cool.
Yeah, because it's still just like to this day, I'm like, ugh, when he like sticks his tongue out at Leia, I'm like, ugh.
And like I've gotten used to the CGI, you know, like I've gotten used to it. I've just accepted it for what it is. But like if we're gonna give credit to things, let's give credit to this because it's really good, especially going from making Yoda in the, you know what I mean, and then like so it's really just going to this. It's really cool.
Yeah, really cool.
Go up to the sail barge, right?
Sail barge, sail barge.
Oh, whoa, wait, we forgot to mention though that when Luke comes in there, he's kicking ass and taking names. So, you know, like to go in there. When you look in the background, you can see Lando's in there already. As the you can see one little quick, you know what I mean? Like you see it, so it's like you can tell there's more of a plan here. Yeah, you can tell there's more of a plan here. And then when we get to the sail barge, it's like the real plan comes out. It's cool.
Well, and so I'm going to throw this in there just because I'm a Legends person. She's my favorite character. You can actually see a redhead if you look close enough in the background, and in Legends, they spun that off to be Mara Jade because Mara Jade was originally the Emperor's hand. Mm-hmm. And so he had specifically sent her off at that point to go kill Luke Skywalker. And so she knew of the plan to go rescue Han. Well, she knew Han was at Jabba's palace. And so she was like, okay, I'm going to go get in there as a dancer.
Really?
Because he's going to show up at some point. Yeah.
I like it. See, I need to... One of these days, I keep saying it. I know I keep saying it, but one of these days, I'm going to really go down the Legends deep dive, you know, right down the rabbit hole and know all this stuff eventually.
Well, so you can find that story in, I think it's Tales of Jabba's Palace, which is like all before Return of the Jedi. It's little anthologies. Mm-hmm. They do different ones like Tales of the Bounty Hunters, Tales of the Empire, Tales of the New Republic. So, they're all really cool anthologies. It's a good look into the universe.
I like if you watch it like with the sail when Luke goes to walk out to the thing and he gives the head nod, like it goes around everybody giving the head nods. If you watch if you watch the Family Guy parody of this for their return, like they go on and on and on with that because it's like it feels like it goes on and on in the movie and then it does. I don't know. I just that shit cracks me up and I laugh at that every time. And I think about that scene every time I watch this. But I do like how, you know, like Luke's got his plan, you know what I mean? He goes, R2's already been packing his lightsaber, boom, and goes it like it's I really like it here.
And it just works. And
like I said, this is where you get the reveal. This, you know, like sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. It's just
no,
like Luke's coming in, like I said again, like a boss, and he's got it all under control. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, totally. And it's interesting to see Boba Fett fall in the pit now, fall in Sarlacc pit.
That was always one of the worst things. Like he's this badass bounty hunter, and then like a blonde, or like the black, like he gets knocked in, and it was just always so like, man, really, this is how he's going down.
And the Sarlacc fucking burps and everything.
I know.
But hey, he's a badass that got out of the Sarlacc pit.
He did. He did get out. We found out. It wasn't too much longer after he got out.
Yeah. So yeah.
Leia killing Jabba, that was cool too. Like she muscled up, like you know what I mean? Like she ain't sitting around. She found her opportunity and just took him out. Yeah. I thought that was really cool too.
And I love it that it kind of ties in because they really could have just left him alive. I don't think they would have intended to, but it was just like Luke goes in and is like, that's the last mistake you'll ever make, Jabba. And
the sail barge was hours a cool later. Concept. Yeah. Like, and the sail barge was a cool concept too. It's like just looking at that, visually seeing that, you know, you're like the first time it comes on, you're like, whoa. Like everything just feels exotic and different. Like even though you're back on Tatooine, it still feels like a different part of, you know what I mean? It's just, I think they did a good job.
Yeah. And then we take off from Tatooine. Mm-hmm. Luke goes back to Dagobah. I always kind of tear up when Yoda dies.
Me too. That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, no, Yoda.
Yeah. And he's still like the snarky Yoda and everything.
Yes.
Matt made a comment when we were watching this, and he goes, "Wow, this is like a completely different Yoda from like Clone Wars Yoda." And I'm like, "Yes, he's just a snarky old man."
He's had 20 years to sit out in the 22 years to sit out in the jungle by himself and realize that he effed up the Republic. He let the Sith win, and he just kind of went crazy out there around all these little dark side creatures and stuff.
He's also just he's lonely. He's a lonely old man.
He exiled himself and he was talking to Force Ghosts. You know, he had Qui-Gon as his only friend for a while.
Yeah. And then,
but yeah, I agree with you. I get sad too. Like it's like, oh, but at the same time, you know what I mean? It feels complete, especially now that we've gotten the rest of the story and I kind of saw him go through his thing. It's like he's come to the end of his life, but there's hope in the galaxy again. You know what I mean? So he can pass on to the Force. He can become one with the Force a little easier.
Yeah.
But he also wait. Yeah, sorry. This is also where he gives the
clue that there's another Skywalker.
Yeah, there's another. As I say, this is where things all open up, and then all of a sudden, by the end of this movie, the last two were where the twins are kissing each other. It gets a little icky.
Well, and he doesn't reveal that it's Leia. Obi-Wan's Force Ghost comes out and confirms Luke's like.
Right. But this is where they lay the seed. Yeah, this is where Yoda lays the seed.
So, and Luke also goes in before Yoda dies and is like, "So I am a Jedi," because Yoda's like, "You have no more training."
Yeah.
So I am a Jedi, and everyone's like, "No, Vader first."
Yeah, exactly.
So then we get back to the mysteries of space, and we see Lando has become a general. I say the mysteries of space because I don't know which planet they're orbiting.
The scoundrel, you know what I mean? The scoundrel becomes just. I like it. Yeah. He comes in there and he takes charge. And hell, so much so that him and Akbar are like the two main charge in the final battle in the space battle. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Which, and that surprises me because I guess maybe they didn't offer it to Han because Lando's like, "Would you have taken it?" And like, I don't know, like. Yeah. And Han's leading the ground charge, the ground assault. So it's like.
Yeah, I do like it though, because like it is split into different forces, but I just like that, you know, Lando and Akbar, they're the 1 and 2 out there in space. Everybody's kind of relying on them. And then, you know, we've got our core group of heroes that we've come to know and love over three movies, you know, like our original trio and our Wookiee and our droids that are going in to lead the ground assault, which, you know, hijinks ensue, and I love it. Yep. I did think it was funny that like the Death Star 2, okay, like the Death Star 2, the look of it though, like when you know, it's like we're just kind of going through the movie and then it, but like the actual look of it in this one, how it's like you can see it's not built all the way, but it's functional. I did think that was the coolest shit as a kid, and it wasn't until I got older that I was like, so they just built 2 of these things? Like I thought the first one was supposed to be the ultimate weapon.
Right, but because you look at it and it's like, okay, they spent 19 years building the first one, or probably more than that because the plans came out before that.
Yeah, well, and remember by the time Revenge happens, like you can see the skeletal structure of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're planning it at the beginning of the Clone Wars. Like you can see the schematics. Yeah. Like they've been, this has been in the works for quite a while, and then all of a sudden, like it's like, oh look, there's another one. Which, like I said, I'm fine with because I liked it. I just thought it was totally cool looking.
But do you think they were building it at the same time?
They couldn't have been at the exact same time. It had to have been a little after, but yeah. And like, you know what, people were like, "Oh, we're never gonna get a sequel to Rogue One," and I was like, "Oh, we can kind of get one. We can call it Rogue 2. We can see how many Bothans died to get the players of the Death Star 2. Okay, and we'll call it Rogue 2.
Rogue 2. Yeah, well, and it's always so interesting to me because like, and this is again a Legends fun fact, like literally like there's several plot lines that are politically in the New Republic that are built off the Bothan spies. Bothan?
The Bothans. Because there are many Bothans. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then I've screwed up barracks and everything this week, so
Yeah,
I'm like,
okay.
my pronunciation skills, I pronounce it how it looks, not how it's supposed to sound.
That's how we do.
So there's like an entire plot line built off of it. And there's this senator, because in the legends they go back to the old ways and they go to Coruscant and build the chancellor role and everything. And the Bothan is like, I should be chancellor because my people did this.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
He's a douche.
Oh,
Greg is in the chat. I don't
Hamilton.
know how. Greg is in the chat. I don't know how long ago, but hi, Greg. So Buff and Spies, and then we go to Endor. Spend the rest of the time at Endor.
Yeah, we basically that's where the meat and potatoes of the movie takes place, is on Endor, and we meet the original Jar Jar Binks, because nobody seems to remember, but like people hated Ewoks. They were like, these fucking teddy bears in the goddamn Star Wars. Oh, they hated them. There's still people now that's why this movie's it's always a third on the original trilogy when it's ranked. People are like, oh, damn teddy bears, George just make me look. I love the Ewoks. Okay, I loved it. I love that they thought C-3PO was like their god or whatever, like because he was all those pros. I don't know, the Ewoks, Bright Tree Village. I've always loved that. Always loved that.
Yes, they're so cute, and they do good things.
Yeah, like they take down chicken walkers and all kinds of shit with just stones and sticks, and they get in there and they're not scared. And when they die, yeah, I dig them. I dig them.
So this is where we see Rex. We've already mentioned Rex, but if you follow the Clone Wars, Rex is in this via retcon or whatever you want to think.
Right. So, and we've also, this is the most introduction we got introduced to the Emperor, because he is sprinkled all the way throughout this. Like he's the actual Emperor is sprinkled throughout the entire, which makes sense because it's the culmination. But like he's really in this one, and it's not just like we reveal a curtain at the end like the Wizard of Oz. It's like he's a little bit here and he's pulling the strings and he's talking to Vader and he's talking, going through him. It's just he's cool as a villain, as he's kind of like, you see more of him in this one. The reveals,
and I think it makes sense why he comes into this one, because ultimately this is his final trap for the rebellion. Like we find out
he wants to oversee himself. Yeah, he wants to oversee it himself.
Because at this point, like, you've had so many people fail with the rebellion, and now you're like, oh, okay. But if I put all of this into like the rumor mill, I can defeat all of them at once, because they're gonna come full front when they know, oh hey, the Emperor's here, I can destroy his weapon and destroy him at the same time. Like, completely do it. So it works as a trap, I think.
Well, and this, in my opinion, the original trilogy, this, like I said, I know we're not like walking all the way through the movie and like we're just kind of talking, the pieces as it goes, but if we're talking about stuff that's really spectacular in this, man, the Vader and Luke rematch with lightsaber. Oh man, how it's like even the green and the reds of the way they're kind of going in and out of focus. Like it is so good, and like you can tell they kind of up their game to go at it with this, because this is still ranks very high in all the Star Wars, like the lightsaber duels, because it's very well done. Like I think George did a good job ramping this up, or whatever, making it go through, and the way the lighting was, how it was kind of dark and the blues are coming through and the reds, and like I said, the hue of their blades when they're going, it's excellent just for the visuals alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just like the meaning that it's in there, because like I said, Vader in the other movies, he was killing like all his generals. If they failed him, he was killing them. After he has his encounter with Luke, the last general that he doesn't kill him, and they make it a point to bring that same guy back and show him this like this crack in it. And Luke picks up on that, and he keeps just exploring and just prying that crack open a little more and a little more and a little more, until eventually, I'm not just skipping to the end, but we get to the climax, and what happens.
Yeah.
But you were saying earlier how the Emperor had all this set up and like why would what makes sense we see him here because it's his trap or whatever. You're right. Like he's got it so well mastermind that he's luring their entire armada, their entire rebellion fleet because he wants to crush them in one swoop. He's going to take down their Jedi with Vader and take him over to get a new apprentice and crush the entire rebellion fleet in one smash. You know what I mean? Like this is his coup d'etat, his final like I've got, and he almost does really if it's not for the will of the Force, you know what I mean? Like Vader says in the first movie, Obi-Wan is here and the Force is with him. Well, Luke was here and the Force was with him. And it was enough to take down the Sith. You know what I mean? Because the Emperor was coming to crush them in one fell swoop. Everybody was getting all his opposition.
Yeah. I think it really works. So.
Yeah, it's brilliant. When you look at it, like if you just watch it at face value, you can be like, oh, okay, it's happening. But if you think about it, and especially all the other context we have with it, and we know the prequels and all that, like it just shows the brilliance of the Emperor to be like, okay, like you guys have fucked with me long enough. I'm taking you all out, and he almost does.
And he does, which, and I think this is kind of we were talking before this about the Emperor and kind of comparing this to the Rise of Skywalker, and I think ultimately, like, yes, it's another round of super weapons in the Rise of Skywalker, but I think also the trap that the Emperor lays for whether it be Luke or whether it be for Rey, I think in this case he was aiming for the same goal with Luke, and it was only because Vader wasn't in on it that he really didn't end up taking Luke, because Luke shows some real anger here, like, and I think it was all about the intent of why you're taking Sidious down, which is where I think he was trying to egg on anger and hate.
Absolutely. He was trying to draw it out here. And this movie is why I cite like that. And I'm not trying to nitpick or compare to other movies, but I will bring up both the last two. And, this is why I cite that I don't, the Luke Skywalker that picks the blade up to hold over his nephew. It's like, that's not the Luke that we see here that literally throws down his blade, that he's not going to fight. Like, he's not going to kill his father. He's not going to succumb to the dark, to the will, to the, you know what I mean? And then like when we get to, okay, like it connecting it to Rise of Skywalker, people are like, oh, how's the Emperor back and stuff? Well, if the Jedi can become like one with the Force and stuff, like, we see the blue after the Emperor goes up in the pit, we see the blue kind of like shit go out of it. Like, why? But like, there's a lot of people interpreting like, oh, look, like that's because you even hear like scary sound or like, it's like the sound effects with it, like that's his Sith spirit going to go to his clone body or whatever. Like that's like they can't become one with the Force and they can't do spirit or Force ghost, but like that all that evil has to go somewhere. And like that's kind of the way people are taking it now, Katie? Did she freeze? Did I freeze? Hello? There she is. There she is. All right. Sorry, you froze or I froze. I don't know.
I'm being told my internet connection is unstable currently, so Zoom
is. That's right. We're getting kind of, like I said, it was going to be a shorter episode anyway, but the It's a Trap. You know what I mean? The It's a Trap. Like if we're going to talk about, let's get it in there. Like I know it's a great meme, one of the greatest memes ever, but it's meant to be serious and stuff. Like so, I love that. Lando stepping up to be the hero, like we said, excellent. Finding out that Luke and Leia are twins and that she was the other, and the celebration at Bright Tree Village is like really really cool. Okay, well, before what do you like Hayden Christensen being put in as the Force Ghost in there? Do you like that, especially because that was also contentious too to people?
It always bugged me because like you get like Yoda is clearly old, Obi-Wan is old, and if you have like, because the special edition stuff was shot obviously when they had all the actors for the prequel trilogy. So I'm like, if you put Hayden in, then you might as well put Ewan in.
Well, okay, you heard the headcanon and why it goes like that.
Why? Tell me why.
Because that is the last time we saw Anakin Skywalker, and then he died like that. He died like that, and Vader was born. So when he comes back as what he looked like before Vader killed Anakin. Because you know how that's what he would look like. And Obi-Wan stayed a Jedi and lived out a full life, and that's why he's all old and wrinkly, and Yoda. And they don't go back to all young. But like if you saw Qui-Gon, you'd see Qui-Gon at the age that he was, like he wouldn't be like super ancient, wouldn't be super young. That was been the headcanon because that's when the Jedi.
Right, but then you could argue in that headcanon and be like, okay, wait, but he came back to the light.
Yeah, but you want him to be just like a floating face because like the rest of his body was all machine and I don't know. Maybe that's my own headcanon.
I don't know. I mean, it works, sure, but at the same time, it's like that bugged me as a kid. Where I was like, wait. Once I knew that was Anakin, because at the first time I saw this one, I didn't know that was Anakin.
Yeah.
So once I knew, it was like, wait, but why would you put Anakin as a young guy?
I'm a fan of it. And seeing, I know I'm like one of the only ones I know that it's a fan of. But like I say, continuity wise, sister, like I like it, and I think it makes sense. And I like that Luke and Leia can see their dad as he was, and not the monster that they got to come to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, really, it's just Luke. I think Leia talks.
Well,
to him
no,
she looks
over that. She looks over that way too. I always got she could see too. Am I wrong? Like, would they both look over that way? Am I thinking wrong, or does she walk away before he looks over, sees that? I swear.
I thought she walked away, and I watched this last
you're
night.
Right. Yeah, okay, you know what? You're right. Yeah, she did walk away right before. Then he looks over and sees him, and they come in. Damn it, you're right. Either way, Luke gets to see him. Yeah, you're right. I don't know what I'm thinking. You're right. She walks away, and then he literally turns and looks at him. So, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm a dumb. Sorry, guys.
No, you're good.
I watched it last weekend. I'm not gonna lie, and then I've been in Snyder Cut mode and stuff, so it kind of all got shifted to the back. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have time to watch it again before. But I watched it last weekend. I don't know. Sorry.
No, but overall, I think it's a great movie. I already said it. It's my favorite original trilogy. So.
Oh, high five. Because I love it. Because there's not a lot of people that think that because the Ewoks and stuff like that. But I
love the Ewoks.
It's me too.
I obviously I have a dog. His name is Antilles, but he looks like an Ewok, and I call him my little Ewok. So even Matt, when Wicket comes on screen, he's like, "That's Antilles." I've literally posted like a side-by-side comparison of the two with their little faces. Oh, so cute. I think that's all we have for today.
I was gonna say that is all I have, and it's gonna be a short and sweet episode. And I know we both have things to do, and that's okay. We'll do these short episodes until we get some real news that people and get into some real meat and potatoes of things.
Yes. So I do have a question for those who are listening. Which trilogy should we dive into next? Should we go prequel or should we go sequel?
Go prequel. What? God, what?
We're gonna have to do sequel eventually, Nathan.
Yeah, the sequel is in The Mandalorian. That's the sequel to the original trilogy. You're right.
We're gonna have to talk about it.
I know. Hey, I love The Force Awakens. So you know what? I love The Force Awakens. So sue me or whatever. I don't care if people say it's the same thing as The New Hope. Whatever. I like it.
Yeah. Okay. But the next episode, as I try and fix my rough hair. Sorry, y'all. I'm looking rough today. The next topic that we're going to go into is the top 5 Clone Wars arcs. So,
I'm ready for that one. I got to do some thinking and really think and see the arcs and stuff. But that, yes, okay, yes. I'm ready. I'll be picking those out. I don't know if I have time to rewatch all my top 5 favorite arcs, but I can definitely get in. That's a good one, Katie. That's a good one. I like that.
So
I know we talked about it before, but I didn't know we decided. Okay, that's the guys. Look, I found out live too, but I like it. We discussed it, but I'm finding out that we locked it in. So good.
Yes, we're gonna do that next, and then we'll hit the next movie on our list, whether that be the Phantom Menace.
The fans vote, right?
Yes, the Phantom Menace or the The Force Awakens, whatever
Mhm.
goes next. And then we get to dive into The Bad Batch and Thrawn, Ascendancy, Greater Good. So that's your look
So
at the
look
next
out for
3
that.
episodes. It is coming. I know Nathan and I are both anxious for Greater Good to come out. So Nathan, tell us when they can find you.
You can find me on Friday nights, Super Civil Servants Live, and you can find me here on Sunday mornings, every other Sunday morning.
Yep.
You can find me here. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. So you can find me on Twitter at Slice of Katie. You can find this podcast on Twitter as well, where you can come talk to me, ask some questions, get in contact with Nathan, whatever it may be. At Star Wars Alliance without the A in the Wars. And then my other podcast you can find on Twitter as well. It's at Slice of Film 1. And this week, or next week, I should say, we're going to be talking about Raya and the Last Dragon. So, first new movie we've gotten to cover since Tenet, so I'm excited. Kirkland came on and talked about it with me, so check it out next week. With that, I want to wish everyone a great day or night, whatever time of day you're listening or watching, and we'll see y'all next time. May the Force be with you.